Creative Katie Karen Burchill here. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you 3 different ways that you can use napkins. Not only napkins, those hard to use napkins. I'm going to share my secrets, so let's get started. Now, normally I use napkins as a large focal image on my page. And here are some examples of just that. It's easy peasy. You add a lot of stuff to the background. The tulips are a napkin. The birds and the branches come from a napkin. This comes from a napkin. You get my drift. These are easy uses. Large scale focal images, easy peasy. What about the napkins that have small scale images that are really busy or cluttered? You might love them, you might like the colors, but these are the ones that typically don't get out of my storage center. So you open them up, and there is a lot going on these napkins. You may like the colors, you may like some of the elements, but they're small. So I'm going to show you not 1, not 2, but 3 ways that you can use these napkins and turn them into a valuable resource. So number 1 way is to make a page border with them. So to do that, I'm just going to rough cut and isolate a part of this just to make it easier to manipulate. I'm going to cut off some of the excess there. Now, what I want to do is eliminate some of the clutter, some of the chaos, some of whatever's going on, and edit out certain elements and edit in something that's going to resemble a page border. This is going to add a colorful floral border to my page. So I'm just randomly kind of making a swoop going down and cutting out some of that chaos, some of the clutter that is in the napkin. There's lots of leaves and sprays, and I'm basically cutting this out to eliminate that and isolate the bright, beautiful floral spray that I'm going to now become something usable. I like adding a floral border to some of my pages. Then you just add a focal image, a printable, variety of printables to it. So right now you can see I've cut along here, and that's making an interesting border. Now I can glue this down exactly as it is, but I'm going to continue editing and transforming this, cutting out what I don't like, some of the noise, the visual noise that's there. So I just get the floral, the colorful, the parts that I really like. I'm using a liner brush with a little bit of water, and I'm just water cutting it. And as I go, there is no right or wrong way to doing this. You can cut out as much or as little as you want, personal choice. And as I go, I cut out more, and then I'm trying it on the gesso page, the size page. I can try it on a 5x7 page or a 9x12. Different napkins and floral sprays are going to work better on some sizes. So I'm just kind of auditioning it and just little by little cutting out more and more, isolating. So I just get this flowy border going down. And then I've even cut this one apart. That allows me to play with the orientation a little bit more. I could put the border at the top and the bottom. I could put the border on both sides, or like you see me doing here, on one side. So basically, I'm breaking the page by adding a border. So I'm going to do, 2 to 4 of these. I don't recommend doing too many because you want to actually use it. You don't want to have something that is partially done that you're not using. And if you want to see me finish this page, stay tuned to my channel. Make sure you're subscribed because I will fill in the background and finish that page. Now here's another napkin, and this one kind of has a spray that almost makes a border coming down. So I'm looking at the napkin, and again, I'm rough cutting it when it has all the plies there. It's a little easier to cut. And then I will remove the excess plies. You always want to remove those and glue it down. There's kind of a dead space in the middle that I don't like, so I'm going to piece this one together. I'm going to edit things together to make a unique border and make it fit. In this case, this is believe it's a 7 by, I think it's a 9 by 12 page as well. But I can just extend it if my page or my project is a little bit longer. So as I said, on the right side there, the empty space, I will come in with color. And then there will be a focal image, a sentiment. So I want to cut out another element here, just I'm adding on to my border. So if you can't get it a straight border perfectly, you can build it up, manipulate it to fit where you want it. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of playing with it. And now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to water cut some of that excess off. Anything you don't want, you can cut off, and this is my preferred way of doing it. The excess, even if it's white, it glues down better if you get rid of it. So I always do. So just for the sake of doing something different, I'm not putting this on the left side. I'm going to put it on the right side. That's going to force me to work with that page a little bit different. And here I'm just gluing it down with fluid matte medium, and I'm making sure I put a coat at the top so it's perfectly sealed, because I know I tend to overpaint or add color, tweak the color, and I don't know yet what I want to do. So I want to prepare this and have it ready to go. So here are the two borders that I have. I can have it that orientation or this one. Some of the Julie Nutting dolls might go well in there. Some of my printables from supercoloring.com. Again, stay tuned to my channel and see me finish these page. The second way that we can use these types of napkins is to create collage fodder. Now, these are small image, and if I'm using them, I'm going to add them to printables, add them to an existing focal point, or I'm going to use several of them and build them up to make a focal point. But the problem is when I'm creating, I don't want to stop and do this. So my goal here is to take these napkins that have these small scale images on them and get them to a state that is ready to go collage fodder. And how I'm doing that is remove the 2 excess plies, and I'm gluing it down onto a piece of copy paper. And this copy paper is just out of the recycle bin. There's something printed on the other side, so you can make use of that. I'm putting a coat of fluid matte medium underneath and one on top to seal it. Easy peasy. The goal here is to get this more usable and functional so I can play with it when I'm creating a page. Now, you can take time to dry it in between with the heat tool, as you see me doing here, or you can be doing this as a stash builder and just set them aside and let them dry naturally. So now you have pages of this fodder. Now, don't stop here. You can cut this out completely, fussy cut it all the way, but you want to make sure that it's completely dry. And now they can be picked up and manipulated on a page or added to something. Now you can completely fussy cut it, or what you can do, which is my preferred way of doing it, is to just kind of rough cut it. Get rid of a lot of the excess so that you can test it out. And then when you are actually doing the page, cut it out. Here I've just kind of rough cut around it so there's a little bit of white. When I want to use that, then I'm going to cut it out because I don't want to waste my time cutting out everything that just is going to be stored. So once it's at this stage, I can play with it on my page with or without other printables. Here I can make a bouquet of flowers. I'm going to do lots of napkins with lots of florals. and then I can play with the different flowers, make a bouquet, set it up however I want. Like even if you've got partial flowers, tuck it under, nobody's the wiser. So don't throw out anything. These smaller collage pieces also work on smaller projects, on an ATC, on a mini composition book, on a index card. So if that's what you like to create, having these at the ready, you do the background and then you just find the perfect collage fodder to add to it. Now, not just flowers, you can any small scale element, birds, animals, flowers, seashells. So I just flipped through some of my napkins. We've got these seashells, but I'm not going to use the napkin as a whole. I need to release these from this and turn it into usable fodder that's ready to go. Now, I'm just going to store these kind of in themes. So all the flowers that I take off napkins, I'm going to put them in this plastic envelope. I love these plastic envelopes. I use them to store my stamps, some of my stencils, collage papers, and now I'm going to have flowers here. You can also make categories. This is kind of fall, autumn, mushrooms. You can do a C one, themes that you typically do. You can also store them on the full sheet in a file folder, just like this, and cut them out when, flip through there, sort them by category again. And now I'm just going to take those napkins that I am going to do a stash builder with, and we're going to have added to my stash. I'm going to keep that all together. I can take this with me. I can cut them in front of the TV, rough cut them, sort them later. So small scale fodder that's ready to go and incorporate onto your pages will save you lots of time if you do that stash builder. The third way is to make custom collage or decoupage paper. Here we're going to capitalize on the beautiful colors that some of these napkins have, but we're going to alter it by this process. I'm going to use some packaging from stencils, or you could use a plastic cutting board. You just want to do it on top of that because the paint is going to leak through. Now you also want some medium, small, different kind of stencils. I'm using 12 by 12s, but any size stencil will work. So again, what you need to do before we do that, I'm going to cut this one in half and I'm going to do this napkin in two different ways. Just give you some ideas. And again, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. You're going to take these, use the color schemes that are there, capitalize on somebody who's done the color scheme work. And again, remove the excess plies. Place the napkin on the packaging on the plastic cutting board. This allows me to just lift it up, move it over, and let it dry. And I can do multiples in a stash builder. Now I'm going to place my stencil, whatever size. And here I'm just applying white acrylic paint. I call this the frosted napkin technique because it just knocks back the image. So even if it was animal, you're not going to see it as an animal. You're going to see the colors. Now the colors of this napkin are absolutely beyond gorgeous. But adding this frosted, all you see is the colors. And now you've got two tones of the colors. If you put more white paint, it becomes very opaque and white. If you put less, it's more ethereal. Again, no right or wrong. Now here I'm doing the entire napkin with one stencil. You could use several different stencils, have several different patterns if you want. You do you. And don't be fearful. This napkin was sitting in my stash unused. Even if it totally doesn't work, that's better. You're going to learn what you like. Now here you can add script. I like script stamp on a lot of my backgrounds, on my collage papers. So I'm just going to add that. You could do this step or you can just leave it at the paint and add it once you decide that how you are going to use this collage paper. This allows you to just focus on designing the collage paper. Look at that lovely script on there. Oh my gosh, I love this. This could be an Insta background. It could be covering a box or a tin can used as collage paper. And it's 100% unique to you. So let's do the other one. And this one we're going to be using color. It's very one-tone, the purples. There isn't as much. And I thought, okay, Prussian blue will go with it and quinacridone magenta. So I'm just going to do something different that I've never done before. Take you along for the ride. So I'm adding this on here and I like it, but it's not enough. So I'm bumping the stencil, moving it a little bit, and then I'm doing the quinacridone magenta. So I'm adding a little bit more pattern and a little bit more color to it. You choose the colors, you choose how much you're going to add to it. Again, there is no right or wrong. Just get creative with it. You're going to create something that you love. So I'm done with that one. So now I'm going to do the other one. And this one I'm going to do the frosted napkin. I'm going to use this maidenhair fern stencil. And I'm loving this look. It just softens it. You get the blue, purple and the green and the white. Beautiful color scheme. I didn't have to do much work about it. And now I can use it. Now you can use these collage papers as an Insta background and cover the whole thing, or you can rip them apart. Yeah, I like the maidenhair fern. I wanted to add it to this one. So here I've done 3 stenciling on top. And when you get to the point and you say, yeah, now I like it. That's where I'll stop. So as I was saying, you can use these collage papers kind of Insta background like, or rip just parts of them and use them like you would any kind of collage paper. But they're unique 100% to you. One of a kind. So there are the 2 different ones there, 2 different looks. Oh, this one I thought you can also add splatter at this time. If I was splattering lots of them, and again, if you keep it on the packaging or the plastic cutting board, then you can just move it and let it dry and you don't have to worry about it. And I highly recommend doing these as stash builder sessions. You know, when you want to create, but you don't know what you want to create, you just relax and enjoy the process. So this one I stamped, I stenciled, and I splattered. And I have this beautiful collage paper that, again, you stay tuned, you'll see me using it. These can be just once they're completely dry, fold them up, and they can be stored as you store your napkins, or they can be stored in those plastic envelopes as collage papers, or they can go with my gel prints, sorted by color. So the 3 ways: turn those napkins into page borders, turn them into ready-to-go collage fodder, make designer collage and decoupage papers.